Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about leveling newer characters, especially those that power level, and especially those that wail a little bit, and own some Doomlights. I'm using the Energy Doomlight, which I think is the best one overall, considering some of the specific monsters that you can farm, but I just surpassed 135, so I'm actually 136 now. And so I've transferred copies of the Doomlight over. And so everybody knows the method to farm, basically from, I don't remember the level I started doing this, pretty low. It was sometime around level 100 and something, 110 or 15 or something. You're just basically going into the Shadow Rock and just winning. At first it's like 3 or 4 battles. Then with each level, it gets more and more and more and more, and eventually you get to a point where it's no longer just a few battles. You're having to sit there and do something over and over and over and over, and it gets a little bit more tedious. But I think once you hit 135, and you're able to pick up the 135 Angrilanorm pet. I mean, I use Frostworm Mask. I think you're able to maybe swap out of spellcaster and stop using auto hit spells, because you're still having to click start buttons. You know, if you lose initiative, you still got to click buttons, right? So I wanted to show off basically the power of Doomlight's 136 versus 148 monster. I've got start battle off, and then so it'll either be really close or you'll just win. So it's already one battle. So that's pretty good experience for one battle. So let's see if I can 0 hit win here. I should several times. So there you go. You just hit to go in and start the fight, and then you just win. You just wait for the timer. This is pretty fast. Again, you're going to lose initiative, and it's just going to kill itself. And you just sit here and do this all day long. And as you level to each of these levels, as you start to get towards level 150, you'll have to sit here and do this more and more. That's why I think maybe swapping to a backlash mode, especially if you're used to just spamming the auto hit spells. This is going to be a little faster, I'm finding. And you can probably get away with 3 or 4 battles without having to fully heal yourself. As you can see, it's just quick, over and over and over. This may ultimately end up being the quickest method, but I am working on a project. I actually convinced Anim to update Wabio, but I think it has to go live with like maybe next week's update. So I wanted to kind of show off. Here, let me just start from scratch here. Hang on. So the level 150 Wabio is like 6.6 or 6.7 million experience. And so I actually went ahead and purchased the Wabio guard, the level 150 guard. And I learned it was a waste of money because it, instead of 6.6 million experience, the guard is actually, as you'll see here, only like 600,000. Like 665k. Okay, so you can actually do the painting to gold farm in this setup with the Energy Doomlight, and then you just spam Santarctic Crusher, so the fragile will, if it inflicts, will kind of cheese the guard a little bit. So this will be turn number 3 here. So it's going to be slower. However, Annam told me that I brought it up that the guard had about 10 times less experience than the painting monster, and I was told it was fixed. That's why I think it needs to roll live, because obviously it's not live yet. So there may be some disparity in being able to inflict this backlash, even though we have the potence because of the level difference here. But I should win this next battle here, and I think as you get closer and closer to 150, I think with my main I can usually win in 2 to 3 rounds. If this monster actually did get increased to 6.6 million experience, it may be worth exploring, especially if you can do it in 2 to 3 turns, because it's about twice the experience of the Shadow Rock. So even though the Shadow Rock is basically almost no time, and that's why I think it still might end up being faster, but sometimes you just want to do something different, you know? So maybe I'll win in 3 rounds, for example, and get more than twice the experience, you know? It might be a little faster, and it also may break up the monotony. So I'm hoping that in around a week's time that we will see that update, and that people can use my house number to actually backlash level from really as early as they want to try. But I personally decided to try it out at 135. Pretty simple. That's it for the video. I just wanted to kind of talk about maybe another option besides this same boring Mighty Shadow Rock for level after level after level.